with County Commissioner Mike Sparks today here from Smyrna. And Mike, Barry Sanders is also with us from Community Christian Day School here, as well as all the other folks that we have talked to here on the program. And maybe some questions here for Barry.
Yeah, you know, the place he's got, the new building over here is just fantastic. And I was kidding him off the air about overbuilding, you know, but very optimistic, and I love to see the optimism, and I'm sure everyone else does. But it just complimented this area over here, along with Tom's Florist and Jerome Dempsey's office, where we done a show with Mayor Spivey. He was on, and we talked about the economy back then too. But the place looks great, and I'm excited about his new building, and I was hoping he could kind of share some of the services that he's going to be offering this community.
And this is a fairly new facility, from what I understand?
Yes, sir. We've this is our 12th week of being open, Community Christian Day School, and today we have 70 children in the building. We have August 3rd, if we do not register or enroll any more children between now and then, we'll have right at 150. Well, our maximum is 220, so we have been very blessed.
How many square feet do you have there?
It's 15,000.
Is it? Wow.
And this is at a time when, you know, we've talked about the economy, and I'm sure you've read reports and heard about the economic situation, and you decide to open up a business. How did that work?
Well, it really didn't have anything to do with economics. And this is here's the wild part is, you know, 21 months ago, I'm a real estate broker. I've sold real estate for 22 years. So my whole life, that's all I know. My wife, she's the educator. She's the one with all the degrees. She's our director, Jenny Sanders. I felt a calling from the Lord to do this. I came home, I told Jenny, I said, Jenny, I believe we need to build a school. Yeah. I think that's what we're being called to do. A Christian school. Yeah. Because I just feel like this kind of relates to possibly the story you opened up with about the newspaper man that received his beating. Mm-hmm. I'm 44 years old. I feel that our generation is, you know, dropped the ball for the most part raising our children, and they need some, you know, just, you know, to be taught, to be, you know, to learn, you know, some Christian values, academically challenged, you know, to get in there. And, you know, Jenny did not, you know, understand. She was happy with being at home with the children, and wasn't real excited about going back to work, you know.
Sometimes you have to drag kicking and screaming, though, right?
But she's been great. Everything's good, and, you know, we have just been blessed. Then real estate turns upside down.
So you got out of that when it was still pretty decent?
I'm still active, but I'm not. Yes. Sure. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, everything was still good, and everything's good. However, you know, real estate turned upside down while we're building the building, and you know, it's just amazing, just a wild chain of events.
And this is for preschool age children?
Yes, sir. 6 weeks old up to pre-K, 4 to 5 years old. Pre-K, and our teachers, 75% of our teachers are 4-year degreed teachers. We have a wonderful staff. We're very blessed to have them. After school goes up to 12 years old. After school care.
So, how do you not only convince your wife and all of these plans that go through your mind, and then, you know, the economy takes a little turn, and you're thinking, was there ever a time that you said, what did I get myself into here? And how do you think yourself through that process?
But I mean, it's, you know, Jenny and I just kept looking ahead, and you know, I didn't have to do a hard sell on Jenny to get her to go along with it. I mean, it was, you know, the Lord gave her the scriptures that she needed, and once she was on board, you know, we ran with it.
That's Barry Sanders, who is with us from Community Christian Day School. I want to go back to something that Tara mentioned just a few minutes ago, and I think it's important that we realize we have talked about the economy on this show frequently, and there seems to be so much information out there that sometimes the line isn't clearly made between what is a national statistic, what is a state, even a local statistic, and that's something that's very important to consider. And what you said a few minutes ago is the local economy has fared much better than, say, Lansing, Michigan, for instance. Maybe you can explain a little bit more about that and how the economy is localized, and sometimes we get misinformation about our local area.
Sure, I'll do my best on that. I think part of it also is when you have an area that grows up around a certain type of industry, if that industry goes, then your area goes. I think that we're very fortunate here in Middle Tennessee to be part of a region also. I think we've, grown up or we live in an area where the growth has spread out from Nashville. People live, we're considered a suburb, yet we've come into our own community. You can live here, work here, shop here, do everything right here in Rutherford County. And with that, our economy has been very diversified. So if you look at, what we have automotive, obviously, with Nissan. Very fortunate to have the Nissan manufacturing facility that came back in the 80s. And with that came suppliers and new jobs and new opportunities, but also being close to Nashville, the healthcare industry. We have NHC here right in our community. We have a lot, we're part of Music City, USA, that's kind of the tagline of Nashville. And with MTSU having the emphasis in the recording industry, we have a lot of people that are in that business. We have just a diversified, economy. With the different industries that we have the other manufacturing, distribution, centrally located. So we just have a lot of product moving through our community as well, with the interstate systems, and then just being so well regionally located that you can drive, within 75% of the population within a day. Mm-hmm. So we just have a lot of diversity. I think we're fortunate to have a lot of different industry base in our area.
I think one thing that I want to bring up, there was a time, Mike, when Smyrna was going through an identity issue after the Seward Air Base closed. Yeah. And there was a time of uncertainty. What would the people do? Some said that Smyrna would be a ghost town. Yeah. Then in comes the shot in the arm with Nissan, and it seems like being centrally located is really one of the big keys to this area and helping keep something in this area for people to do.
It has been. I mean, with the proximity to I-24, I-65, I-40, the Smyrna Airport, closeness to Nashville. And I think one thing that's helped Rutherford County is our low tax rate historically. I mean, some of that unfortunately has been changing, but historically a lot of people have wanted to move to Rutherford County. Businesses have wanted to move to Rutherford County. We have a non-union state. I think that's helped the workforce a tremendous amount. We're very blessed. But I can remember when Nissan was coming in, and they did say that about when the air base moved. I was real young at the time and barely remember the old guard shacking out there that would
you were still wearing cloth diapers.
Yeah, well, okay. Close, okay, close. but I was just a kid, But I remember when the Nissan come in. I can remember Major Walls and others that were World War II veterans. They didn't like it, and one gentleman wanted to name it. I won't say the guy's name, but Pearl Harbor Boulevard. I mean, in front of Nissan. That's what he wanted to name it, And I think the gentleman ran for mayor, and I always remember this. I won't say the guy's name, it kidded, but he said he got 12 votes, but he had 13 relatives in Smyrna, ran against Sam Ridley, who was a powerhouse, when it comes to politics. But, we have seen Smyrna change, and I think Smyrna's always changed for the better, and I think we've had great leadership, whether it was Mayor Ridley or Mayor Mullins or Mayor Johns or Mayor Spivey, who I think has had a tremendous impact on this community, from the development on Sam Ridley to Motlow and so much. And I think many people may not know, but he's had a stroke and he's not been really involved. But if he is listening, just want to thank him for the much positive impact that he has had on this community.
And I think it takes that and chasing